this closer because it has all the books on it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You're like, Heather, where the fuck are you? Where are you sitting? I'm kind of doing a little bit of reorganizing in my house, and I think I made the decision that I want to start utilizing my sunroom because there are windows that go all the way around in here, and what great lighting I wasn't utilizing. I used to have a bookshelf right here. I moved it into my other bedroom, and then I moved my crusty couch that I have for now right here. I would love a nice fancy beautiful couch that is not couch covered up, but I cannot afford at the moment, so crusty couch it is. I want to put some bookish wall art behind here, but we'll get there. Anyways, that's where I'm at in my house. New setting alert. Today's video is going to be book recommendations for the summer. Books that I think you should read this summer that are bingeable, fun, giggly. They're all romance books. I own every single book but one of them, so I'm going to start with the book that I don't own, but it is available on Kindle Unlimited, and that is Alive in Wells. If you have read and enjoyed the Chestnut Spring series, this is another great cowboy romance option. Seeing Red, you guys have heard me talk about that one. That is the second book in this interconnected series. I haven't read that one yet. It's been on my TBR for a very long time, and I actually talked about it being on my TBR last month, but there are two books in this interconnected series. This is the first one, and I loved it. It's just a giggly cowboy romance. There are a few darker themes in this one, so do check the trigger warnings. But if you're wanting a hot cowboy summer, this is perfect. Getting into the books that I own. First up, we have To Sir with Love. This is giving very much You've Got Mail. The two main characters meet on a blind dating app, and they kind of really hit it off online, and they really hit it off talking anonymously online. And in person, the FMC meets this man who is so annoying, she can't stand him. He's kind of trying to ruin her life in a way. And that's the same man that she's anonymously talking to online. Picking Peaches. Every time I talk about this book, I say the same thing. Had this book had an additional 100 pages, I probably would have given it 5 stars. It did end a little abruptly, but it's okay. It's fine for the summer. Just know that that's what's gonna happen at the end. You're gonna be like, wait, I want more. Please give me more. This is a single dad neighbor's romance. He's an ex-professional volleyball player, and he plays a little bit of volleyball throughout this book, and you're just like, ah! Hot volleyball player! Ah! The second book in this interconnected series is also very good. Our Scorching Summer. It literally has summer in the name. You have to read it during the summer. Nico and Lily travel during the summer basically on Nico's dime because Lily doesn't really have anything going on, and he travels for work, and he can travel throughout the summer. He's like, come with me, just as friends. This is what everybody wants during the summer. If I'm being honest. Now that I think about it, this is what I want during the summer. A man to be like, come travel with me as just friends, and then we fall in love on accident, but he's like obsessed with her from the start. That's what I want this summer. The Blonde Identity. You knew I was going to be mentioning this in this video. If you follow me, you knew I was going to be mentioning this. The main characters in this book do fall in love in 3 days. They do literally say I love you after 3 days, but you just have to ignore that, okay? It's fake. It's not real. They really are in love. Duh, of course. It's the middle of the night in the middle of Paris, and a woman just woke up with no memory. She only knows 3 things for certain. She has a splitting headache, the hottest guy she's probably ever seen is standing over her telling her to run, and oh yeah, people keep trying to kill her. This woman wakes up in the middle of the street, has amnesia, doesn't know what the fuck is going on. People are shooting at her. Hot man spy is like, come with me. She has to kind of stay with hot man spy, I don't remember his name, throughout the entirety of this book, and then they have to fake being married, and they're running away from the bad people and also trying to solve something like the issue at hand, and it was just a good time, and this would be great to read poolside. Oh, basic bitch number 1, beach read. I actually just did a reread of it this past week, and I think you need to read it this summer. If you haven't read this yet, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? If I can recommend just one book out of any of the ones I'm going to mention today, it's this one. This just speaks to my soul. It's also kind of set at a lake, and I know it says beach read. When they say beach, they call the lake beach a beach. That's weird. I've never heard of that really before, but I guess it makes sense. Augustus Everett is the love of my life. The things he says are so beautiful, to the point where you're like, yeah, a woman definitely wrote this, but dear God, I wish a man would say this to me in person. He says things like, January, you're like the sun. And when I watch you sleep, I feel overwhelmed that you exist. That one got me. That one brings tears to my eyes. Both of the main characters are also authors, and they decide to write a book in each other's genre. So he writes kind of a women's fiction romance book, and she writes, what genre does Augustus write? I don't remember what his genre is, but I know there's not necessarily happy endings at the end of his books. So they switch, they live right next to each other, and they write together and kind of go on these author field trips together, and it's just a great book and very heartwarming. Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I actually just talked about me wanting to read this book in a recent video. I read it in 2 days. I gave it 5 stars and I absolutely loved it. Delilah goes back to her hometown after not really going there forever. She only goes back to her hometown because she's getting paid for taking pictures at her sister's upcoming wedding. When she goes to the wedding events, she sees and gets to talk to Claire, and you're like, who's Claire? Claire is her stepsister's best friend. Also, it's important to note that Delilah and her stepsister do not have a great relationship. So Delilah going after her sister's best friend, I don't know. You decide how that's gonna turn out. Until I Get You. I don't know if this book necessarily screams summer vibes or when you read it, if it's even set in the summer, but I read this for the first time last summer, and so to me, it just feels like summer. And when I think about this book, I think of June, because I read it last June. This is a sports dark romance. It's not too dark, but definitely check the trigger warnings, because oh my gosh, wait, actually check the trigger warnings. Now I just remembered a few things in it. She was completely unattainable and I became obsessed with her. One thing about this book is the MMC is obsessed with her. No, he becomes so obsessed with her, I can't. When I finally got her, it felt like I was on top of the world, and then without warning, she left me vanished. It took 3 bitter, angry, long years to find her, but I did, and now she owes me a lot more than just an explanation. 3 years ago, she ruined my life. Now I was going to become her worst nightmare. This book was so good. It starts out as a college hockey romance, and then it evolves and it follows them post-college, because there is that like 3 years, that gap in there that I was kind of mentioning. It's good. He gets her and then she quite literally vanishes and he like can't find her. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is a newer release that came out a couple months ago. Literally has summer in the name. Also, look at the cover. That screams summer. I did read this book in a reading vlog, so if you end up reading this and want to see my thoughts, go watch this. I think it was my 24-hour reading challenge, right? I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. The 2 main characters literally meet on Reddit because they both kind of have bad luck when it comes to dating. I don't want to spoil too much. And then they end up kind of fake dating to see if they can break their bad luck and kind of counteract both of their bad luck. And so they go on dates together, and you just really get to watch them evolve from friends into lovers. When it comes to love, Emma is cursed. Every guy she dates finds his true love after they break up. But it turns out she's not the only one afflicted with this condition. That's the bad luck that both of them have. Hence the let's date each other and try and break this curse. There's a sick scene in this book too. S-I-C-K, sick. Where she gets sick and she passes out on the phone and he has to come find her and take care of her. He didn't have to. He does. Because he's a man. I love Justin. He beat J-name allegations. Alrighty, lastly, we have Brutal Prince. This is a book that was pretty popular a few years ago. This entire interconnected series was pretty popular a few years ago. I'm bringing out just this book, but I'm actually recommending the entire Brutal Birthright series, but I wasn't gonna bring all the books over here. If you want mafia romance summer or a bingeable, fun, dark romance series that isn't like too heavy dark, the Brutal Birthright series. It was popular for a reason a few years ago. I think it's still considered popular, I don't know, but it's just so good, and each book follows a different character that you get to see a little bit in here, and then it just focuses on 2 different characters in each one. They're all so fun. Every single book has different tropes, but it all centers around mafia. They're very bingeable. They're free on Kindle Unlimited. My favorite one in the series is Broken Vow, which I think is the 5th one. Please try and make it to the 5th one so I can hear your thoughts, and if you like that one too. That one and Bloody Heart. Bloody Heart, a girl was getting hunted in that one. And Mr. Mafia Man had to go save her. They're wild, but in the best way. And those are all my summer book recommendations for you guys. If you guys have any other books that you think would be perfect to read in the summer, definitely comment them down below so everybody can go through the comments and find other books. If you've read these, we'll have some more options for you. That's all for today's video, and I will see you guys next week. Love ya. Bye!